Joined here by Bristol Rovers goalkeeper Liam Armstrong, who's 20 years old, I believe now. Is that right?
Yeah, not a teenager anymore.
Right.
Yeah,
not a youngster anymore, no. So we've got a few questions from the keeper, mixture of questions from the keepers, some from me as well.
Yeah.
Move that background a minute. I've got that in there. It's the least of all race today, trust me. What has been the best piece of advice you personally have received, and what piece of advice can you give and pass on to young keepers?
Best piece of advice, probably from a guy called Stuart Naylor, who was our old goalkeeping coach. I think, James, you're quite familiar with him. You probably been trained by him in the past.
Yeah. He's a hard man. He's a hard, very good coach though. Hard taskmaster.
Hard Northerner. Yeah. He said in the game of football you've got to have skin like a rhino, or he said rhino skin. I think it's very important because you need to learn to sort of block out all the negative things, perhaps that other people might be saying about. They might not be, but they might be saying about you. I've had some, criticisms that perhaps I haven't agreed with, but skin like a rhino, it means you're not easily affected. It just bounces straight off you. So all the negative thoughts, all the negative criticisms, some of them are good, like in a way they help you learn, but something that you don't want to deal with just bounces straight off you, and you get on with it. So that's probably the best.
Yeah, you don't want it during a game, do you?
No, definitely not, because that'll just snowball. It just get worse and worse. But probably the piece of advice I can probably give is just hard work and dedication. Like, although it's a given, but it's probably the simple, basics of football. If you want to go far, you've got to be willing to work, and try and beat whoever's in front of you. Like for example, I'm trying to do that now, trying to force my way in, into the manager's plans. Hard work, dedication, working on your weaknesses. It'll all help in the long run, definitely, without a doubt.
Brilliant. Well, ties into my next question quite nicely. So how do you cope with the away fans behind your goal, and how does it affect your game? So you talk about having the thick skin, but is your skin thick enough to deal with some of the abuse you get?
Well, I think it's got thicker over the years. Obviously, I started playing men's football properly when I was about 17, so I was probably still a baby in the man's game. But it's a hard one, especially when it's directed. Being a goalkeeper, it's directed specifically at you, and them being behind the goal, it's a matter of feet from them to you. When you're taking a goal kick, go back to the byline, you feel like they're literally on your shoulder here. But I think the way I've sort of learned to deal with it over the years is trying to shout louder than them. So whether that be communicating, even saying simple things like tight shoulders, check right shoulder, left shoulder, pass it here. That's probably basic, but it does help. It helps you block it out, and it also helps you concentrate, and just get the extra anticipation for that through ball, or, if they need a pass back and you need to get them out of trouble. There's so many positives to shouting loud, and sometimes, even in the warm-up, shouting loud makes the opposition think, Christ, he is up for this. This keeper's up. We got to take our chances today, because he's going to be hard to stop. And, it does help. And that's what I would say to young keepers that necessarily can't or are struggling with it, with finding that hard. So, yeah.
Brilliant. Have you had any major setbacks? And if yes, how did you respond to them?
Well, probably I've had a couple of recent ones, to be honest. It started this year, in fact, a great start to the year. Probably about late January, I got badly concussed in training. Saved a shot on the side of my face, and I made a point of asking, did I save it or not? Because that's what keepers do. And
of course, yeah.
And I got checked out on the pitch, and I was fine. Well, apparently I was fine, but probably about 2 minutes after that, I couldn't remember actually carrying on. And the next thing that I probably remember most, was being in the hospital. I thought, how have I got here? And probably, I think I got 3 weeks given. It's like mandatory time that you get given off, to make sure your head's right and stuff like that. So I was at home doing nothing, staring at walls. You couldn't watch anything because it hurt my eyes would sting, and it just wasn't nice. So When I went back, that was a hard thing to deal with. But I went back, got cleared, everything fine. Then I had the opportunity to train with the first team on my first session back, so I jumped to the chance. I think anyone would, but
Yeah.
I think the last sort of drill we did, I was fine during the session, fine, absolutely, passed with flying colours, all the tests fine. But the last thing, I got tackled quite hard, be it like trying to play it from the back and all that, and I fractured my lower leg, and I had to have an operation on my ankle to stabilise it using some metal components. And that was my first session.
That was the first session back?
Yeah, first session back, literally. After 3 weeks off doing nothing. And straight after that, that's hit me. And I've been at home ever since, like to now. I've been at home, what is it now, 10 weeks? I've only been up there once since the lower leg injury. So it's hard to deal with, but, I've got good people around me, and they help me without a doubt. It cheer me up.
And I suppose when you're out of the game for that long, your hunger for it grows, don't you? When you go back to it, you want it even more, don't you?
Oh, without a doubt. I just can't wait to, get out there and see everyone. Like, as simple as stuff like that, get into a routine again, going for breakfast, seeing all the boys, and, just can't wait to catch a ball, kick a ball, lump it miles, kick it out of my hands, kick it over the fence, whatever. Just can't wait to get back. So, yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah. So, what have we got? What's the best thing about being a professional goalkeeper?
Cool. Well, there's many things. Things that stand out to me might be a bit simple and a bit basic, but it's training with the experienced pros. So I've trained with like Matty Taylor and all the Rovers boys that are there at the moment at the top class. It's just learning little things like how they act around the ground, the training ground, around the fans, how they recover from injuries, how they train, like the intensity, because first team training is just a different world to any other sort of form of training. It's like 100 miles an hour all the time. You don't have time to breathe almost, only in the water breaks, of course, but it's either a sink or swim in those situations, which is just so beneficial. It's brilliant,
especially being the young lad as well in the the training side. It's it's going to be a learning curve, isn't it?
Definitely. I don't get me wrong. I first started training with them with the first team when I was about 16, and I felt just absolutely flabbergasted, if that's even a word. I don't know, but it was just everything just whizzed past me. Like even the shots that I didn't have time to set, and it's already in the net. But now, because I've grown a bit, got stronger, this and that, matured, it's a little bit easier. It's getting easier and easier, which is a positive. But obviously with the setback,
that's what doing. Yeah, you would get used to it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. So it's definitely a positive.
4 years training with the first team, mate. You're a veteran now.
Oh, well.
Which areas of your game are you still looking to improve on, in your opinion?
My opinion, probably. I think the way the game's going now, with like outfielders, they pretty much like go and goal with it. How they play out from the back, it's like Edison at the moment and Allison. The way they play, they're almost like central midfielders in goal. So I want to try and be like them and improve my distribution to a standard where I can sort of fit into any sort of style of play. So I think at the moment it's definitely learning the different types and when to use them, different types of distribution, when to use them. So goal kicks, like flattening them, lofting, perhaps driving them across the floor. There's so many different ways to distribute the ball nowadays. It's not just a simple lump over the top. It might be in some cases, but you've got to have so many different tools to your arsenal now, and it's hard. It's hard.
There was a lot of it. Yeah, like you say, even a couple of years ago, it was just a big punt up the pitch, wasn't it? Get the ball as far away from the goal as possible. Now it's like you are the extra player, aren't you?
Yeah, that's it. To be fair, that was all I was doing last year. Just the manager said to me, just kick it as hard and as far as you can. This is at men's football and like in the lower leagues, and I thought, oh, okay, that's pretty simple. But going back to the like back at Rovers, they expect you to sort of have different tools in your arsenal, so it's not just a lump over the top. It might be just a little, I don't know, a little dink out to the winger or something. Fullbacks, distributing to fullbacks and centre halves and stuff like that. It's so many different doors you have to sort of open and learn different stuff. So yeah, distribution's a good one, I would say.
Yeah, the modern day keeper.
Yeah.
So when you were first starting out as a keeper, was there anything particularly you struggled with? Was it the distribution again? Was it sort of, the goal kick side of it, or?
Yeah, it definitely stood out to me. The goal kicking, I really, really struggle with, like, to the point where I go home really sad or like in tears. Like, I couldn't kick well today,
Yeah.
Not getting it that far. It used to really play on my mind when I was younger. But I remember after that just getting countless of hours in down South Bristol Sports Centre, or just kicking the ball over the crossbar with my dad, or up to his chest or something like that. And the amount of hours that we spend doing that in the summer away from school, it was just, I felt sore afterwards, but I felt good. Yeah, in my peace of mind.
You reap the rewards. A lot of keepers will, they'll practice for maybe 10 minutes and they won't see any improvement and they'll just stop. But you can't do that, can you? You'll get there eventually, won't you?
Yeah, definitely. Don't get me wrong. I went home sometimes crying, thinking, I'm never going to get this. It was so hard at first, but you got to realise you have to work at it. You don't get anything on a silver platter. You just it eventually comes. Sometimes it just clicks, and sometimes you just have to work with it. And you don't get anything, like I said, on a plate. You just have to, pull your pants, like pull your trousers up, just keep going. Like,
that's brilliant, mate. So being a young keeper, how did your loan move to Tiverton Town help your progression as a keeper?
Oh, yeah. I think it was about 61 games I played all told, and
wow.
Probably I came out unscathed, which is probably a first for me. Like, you think now, not being out on loan, I've been injured, but I think it's matured me as a person, like, and as a goalkeeper as well. For example, like, being first at the bar, buying people drinks, greeting people, like even people I don't know, just making a point of going over to see them, introducing myself, being good manners. Also, the football side of it, you have to sort of it's playing for points and people's jobs. And in some cases, like the FA Trophy or FA Cup, it's prizes, like cash prizes, which mean a lot to smaller clubs. It's not like
absolutely. Yeah.
And it's either you win and you lose out on a substantial amount of money, which might keep the club going, or get them out of the mire. So it's a whole different world. Plus,
added pressure, I suppose, isn't it? Because like you say, it means something now, doesn't it? It's not just your individual development; it's about a team and a community, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. You learn. It opened my eyes as well. Like, the amount of people that actually, like, really, really care. They're doing stuff down there, the ground, at the pitch, the bar, all the maintenance work. They're doing it all for free, and it's just for the love of the game and for the love of the club. And it made me realise how much it means to these people down there that might not be able to get to I don't know, like, because it was Tiverton, down south, Exeter, Plymouth. People can't get there. They find football somewhere else, and it was sort of a privilege in a way to play for them. And sort of, although we didn't have the greatest of seasons, I really enjoyed it, and it was stressful come the end, but it was well worth it, without a doubt. Winning Young Player of the Season, I think it was, just capped it all off. Perfectly.
I was going to mention that. I did see something like that, and I didn't want to say it because if I was wrong, it would have looked bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did think that. So that's quality.
I had to get that.
So going forward, what are your hopes for the coming season?
Well, first of all, given the current situation, I just want to get back to it. Like, even like I said, seeing all the boys in breakfast on a morning, just getting back amongst it. And one of the main points is just getting back fit now. Obviously, I'm still recovering. I'm doing all my rehab at the moment, like, on my own, which is tough. Like, not having the professional help, like, on hand, if you know what I mean. It's over text and stuff. But I think another thing is trying to force my way when I'm back fit. Probably trying to make the manager sort of look at me and think I'm try and get into his plans, if you know what I mean. Like third, second, well, being ambitious. First choice, I just want to prove how good I can be and how good I am at the moment. And it's all about self belief. Just keep believing. Like that's all I can say. So definitely.
No, you absolutely got to have as a keeper. If you don't believe in yourself, then it's no good being a keeper, is there?
Yeah, exactly. It's something I struggle with. Definitely self belief. It's only probably now where people have kept telling me you just got to believe in yourself, and it does help. Like you always have to say, oh, I'm not going to kick it to him because it might not get there. You might want to try it if it works, and you want to go again and just keep improving on that. And it's a hard one to sort of to get over, but once you're over it, the sky's the limit. Then it's brilliant.
Absolutely no. Okay, final question. What was your biggest? Sorry to finish on this. What was your biggest goalkeeping mistake, and how did you recover from it?
Oh, yeah. Oh God. Probably. Yeah. Last year, I would say. I think it was FA Trophy. I think for Tiverton. It was a rainy day, like really bad, like to the point it was going to be called off. And the goalmouth was a quagmire where it had been turned up by people trotting on it, me diving around. It was just an absolute state. And for some reason, I'm sure you say always get the centre halves or whoever's passing you back the ball outside the goals. So if and it'll go out for a corner. But on this certain time, the centre midfielder passed it back pretty much on the same line as the penalty spot, and where I was stood, it was just an absolute quagmire. It was horrendous. Not making excuses, but
You'll do that.
Yeah, it just I took a massive swing at it, and as soon as I swung at it, it took this almighty bobble and just trickled in the net before I even looked behind. I was like, oh, and the feeling I felt, oh my God, it was absolutely horrendous. Although it was the first leg in the FA Trophy, it sort of spurred me on for the next leg, even though it was partly my fault. For the next leg, trying to win that one and try and prove a point, if you know what I mean, to everyone there.
Yeah, you want to do it for the team, don't you? Once you've done that, because if you feel responsible, you've got to, it's yours to win. But that's the attitude you have, because either that you could do that, or you can sulk about it, couldn't you, and let it get to you and make more mistakes.
It's easy to sulk about it, but you just got to have self recognition and just think, what can I do better all the time? It's not a one-off time that you think about what you can do better. It's all the time. I think I try and improve on everything, even though I'm at a certain standard of what I can do. Is you can never stop improving, without a doubt. Even the top keepers are always trying to improve and adapt.
And I suppose the game's always changed, isn't it? It's evolving for goalkeepers as well. So you've got to pick up new things all the time.
Oh yeah, I feel sorry for the older keepers trying to sort of get out of that mindset of just
done it 20 years or whatever, and they've got to come and go and adapt to something new. Is very hard to do, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
But Leah, before we go, have you got anything you'd like to say to the keepers and the people watching?
Yeah, obviously with the current situation with the lockdowns and all that, I just want everyone to stay positive. Everyone's finding it hard, not seeing loved ones and stuff like that, and you just remain positive. Stick a film on, stick a comedy on. Keep smiling, keep laughing, keep yourself occupied as well. Whether that be kicking the ball in the garden, helping your mum and dad out. Just keep smiling. Good times will come, and hopefully see everyone soon. So that'd be brilliant.
Brilliant. No, thank you so much for that, mate. I much appreciate it. All right.
Cheers, James. Nice to see you.
Top man. Thank you, mate. See you soon. All right.
See you soon.
Cheers, mate.
Bye.
Bye, mate.